Hi, welcome to Tech Ranch, a place where we learn and earn technical skills in the most efficient way. Let's make coding fun. Integrated Development Environment, IDE, SQL Developer. So here, first thing we'll see how we can download the SQL Developer. Second, we'll see the installation. Then we have authorization, demonstration, features. SQL Developer is an Oracle product. So to download SQL Developer, you can go to the oracle.com database technologies and this link. When you click on this link, it will open this window and here you can see the download button. All you need to click on this. So once you click on the download button, it will open you the license agreement. After accepting license agreement, choose a download file according to your system requirement. If it is Windows 64-bit with JDK 8, you need to click on this download. For Windows 32/64, this one will go for Mac OS and Linux and so on. So once the download is done, you need to click on the installer file and start the installation. So there are two types of installation process. One is the installer, which will extract automatically and executable will ready for access. And another one is the decompressed file, which need to extract and then it will, after extracting, there will be an executable. While clicking on that, the IDE will be ready to work on. So as you can see, this is a compressed file type of installer file. So all you need to decompress this file, you will see like this folder will come up. Now as you can see, the SQL Developer executable, when you extract these files in your local system, this executable will be linked to your database and that's how it will work. Now before we get into the SQL Developer, we have to make sure we already have database server installed in your system. So after Oracle Express Edition 11G or any kind of other database installation, you can use your SQL command prompt to work on it for a connection and access of your database and so on, and executing your SQL command, PL SQL command. So this was the traditional way of working on Oracle SQL development. Now this is what a little complicated, where the command prompt is separate tool where you write the command and then it will go to the Oracle engine and then there it will process and provide you the database. Now SQL Developer is an IDE. It's a box which will give you everything in one box. Your compiler, your debugger, your editor, your libraries or any other kind of tool you can find out in this box. So this is how you will find your welcome file after the installation. So let's take a look at the demonstration of SQL Developer. So this is your welcome page of your Oracle Developer. Now, as you can see, there are so many features you can find out and let's take a look at one by one. First thing first, we need to check with our connections. As you can see here, there is one thing called connections. Right click on it, you will find out all the connection options. So first thing, we need to have the new connection. Now here, all you need to give your connection details. So for example, I gave my connection name and your username, password, which you gave while installation of Oracle Express Edition 11G database server. So here I am considering and I am connecting to my Oracle database server which has this username and password and giving some name, the connection name. Now this is the options. If you are having your LDAP database connection or advanced or local or TNS or basic, any type of connection type, you can check out here. Now I put the basic because I'm using basic. If you have any constraints or if you are not a developer, you are a DBA and you need to make sure your accessibility for the team members. Being a DBA, you need to set your role. So here I'm just putting it as a team. So role will be default. Host name will be by default, it is taken as a local host. If you have a server which is remotely accessed, you can put the IP address or any other information over here. Now port number is 1521 for my server, and it is by default set, but in case if you have a different, you can mention it here. Or there is one more thing we can add here, is called service name. In case if you are running on the SUA web service or any kind of service based application, there you can mention the service name and connect to your database. So for now I'm just using SID, that is called your database name, and type, and this is what the connection details. Now first thing first, we can just check if it is success. That means your connection is ready to connect. Now as you can see, my database is connected here. Now SQL Developer provides us to write a query over here. So as you can see, my database has some values like a tables or procedures, views, sequence, all other features of that you can work on them. Being a SQL developer, I might need any of these things like tables that you can access from here. You don't have to write the query like in a command prompt you write. Views, or you can have something called packages, procedures, functions, cursors, all you can write it down over here. Triggers, you can do your PL SQL editor also. This provides the SQL developer, as you can see here, and sequences. So all you need to just click on it and get the value out of it. So this is my sequence created, and details and maximum value, all the parameters is set in this IDE. Now if you want to write a query, all you can write it down in the query builder or the worksheet. This is what the feature of your SQL developer. So suppose I wanted to display my table of test. Here you can commit also and run the statement, and this is what the execute, the query result, as you can see here. So execution of query in the worksheet and the query builder, you can build the query. It will help you to build it. Instead, sometimes when you write your query you have some errors. This will help to reduce that possibility of having error with the help of the query builder. This is one of the feature of SQL Developer. Now this is all about the accessing or building the query feature in the SQL Developer. What else you can do is right click on the tables. You can perform any commands by simple using user interface. So suppose I wanted to alter the table or I wanted to update the table. All I can do it from user interface like this. Suppose I wanted to add a column in this table, I can simply add it here. Or if I wanted to have any constraint in it, even that also possible with the help of constraints, indexes, and data type, identify column, so many large column, character large object. So you can make any changes. So alteration of a table will be just simply by clicking on the user interface instead of writing a complete query. So after all these features, you can even have a template and save to file. You can import and export these queries and database in other forms like PDF, Excel sheet, Microsoft Word, in another applications. And I wanted to show you a very important and interesting feature of this is PL SQL editor. Now what happened when we write a query using command prompt? We have to go to the notepad and write down the complete code. Now with the help of the SQL Developer, all you can simply go to the procedure and write the query here, and it will help you to do the auto correction or auto completion. Suppose if I make any changes on my procedure hello world and I just, so this will show me the error, syntax error. So this helped me to correct my code, which is not possible in Notepad. Another thing, auto completion. Suppose I write this. Now this will help me to complete my statement. So PL SQL Editor will help you to correct your codes, auto correction and auto completion. Now next is how we can compile. Very interesting procedure in compilation and execution of procedure in SQL Developer. First you need to compile. Since we know PL SQL code, first separate the SQL commands and the PL SQL commands and statements, and separately it will compile and execute. So now it's showing that it is compiled. After compiling, it will make you a block, PL SQL block of code for you. If you have any static value, you can add it here, or some random value, you can just mention it here simply. Or you want to add the output in another file, from file, save file, you can do even that. All I need to do OK, and it will give me my output hello world here. So this is the feature of PL SQL Editor in SQL Developer. Now another thing what I wanted to show you here is called user defined reports. User defined reports will show you the picture or a graph presentation of your data. Now suppose I wanted to make a report of my score table in database. So what I can do, I just right click on the user report, go to the report, choose right click on the user defined report, go to the master report and give the table name here and the style, what style do you want. So I made it as a chart and simply write the query, what all things you want to take out your information in a picture form, in a graphs form. Oh yes, of course, don't forget to mention your connection database and apply. Now if you see this is showing me the graph. Now score table has my botany value and which contains 40 score. So this is displaying this. Now for more details, if you want, you can have another report, and this time we don't need the new connection, we can have the same connection in the new report. Think test, or I want it in a chart form and select start from test, and I do the connection of my database, and this is the output. You see, this is some values for some color graph. If you see, this is how it shows me the graph report of my data values from my database, direct from my table, and your presentation of your data report. This is called user defined report feature of Oracle SQL Developer IDE. Other than that, what you can do it in this, you have data dictionary report, data mining procedures, and your data modeler report. You can put the rules, business rules. Another important tool it has called version control. So suppose like you're working in a team and you have a piece of script of code, PL SQL script of code, and you want to keep it in a safe by your name and compare and maintain the versions after every change you made it in your script file. So this subversion is helping you to maintain the version control. It's basically connected to the server where the all piece of code and application and project is maintained the versions for every team member. So sync up with your team member will help you with this subversion tool in SQL Developer. Now there are some other servers also like a Git, and you can connect it directly there and get the tools and get the code from there and work directly. So this is all about your debugger. You have debugger in log creation, migration project, SQL reports, and many other features of SQL Developer. So this is the presentation and demonstration of Oracle SQL Developer IDE. So we have seen the demonstration of SQL Developer IDE, and we have checked the object browser feature where we seen the SQL worksheet and query builder and working with the tables, sequences, views, and data values, how to change the data values, and SQL worksheet procedure editor. We have checked the procedure editing features, version control, database utilities, user defined report generation, and version control, and many more. So this is all about the SQL Developer IDE. In the next session, we are going to share JDeveloper IDE, which is another very important and interesting IDE for Java professionals. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and get updates on upcoming videos. Let's make coding fun. Thank you.